Morning, August 6th, 2023, camping up at the Finger Lakes National Forest, up off of Potomac Road here, about a mile down from Foster Pond, and about a mile from Searsburg Road. It's at the old house site. It's been 9 days here now, actually 10 days, or 9 days. I came here a week ago Friday, which would have been July 28th, I believe. I took off the Friday before the weekend because I wanted to make sure I get this campsite because the old house pond camp or the old house campsite on Potomac Road is very popular for good reason because you're long ways off the road where the actual camping is, and then there's a nice um, buffer. There isn't a lot of sites like this in the national forest, but it's a real nice site. And I've had it for 9 nights because I got here on the 28th, and today is obviously the 6th of August. And I got to take down camp and head back to work tomorrow, actually. But it's been a great week, excellent week. Beautiful weather. Had a little bit of rain showers Monday afternoon when I was out at the Cornell Botanical Gardens, but there was a passing shower. Some clouds that day. The rest of the week was pretty sunny. A week ago, Saturday, which would have been the 29th, that day we had a good front come through, and it was kind of we had a good rain shower in the afternoon. The morning was beautiful that Saturday, and then also this past Saturday, yesterday, it was kind of cloudy a good portion of the day, and a lot of the week was pretty cool, which was great for bike riding. It wasn't so great for swimming. All week it's been fairly cool for swimming. I mean, a few days got up in the low 80s. I think one day may have gotten 84. They're saying 87, but I don't think it was 87. Maybe down in Ithaca it was. But I was just busy, busy, busy. I can tell you most days on vacation, I didn't get back here till 9 o'clock or even a little after that. I leave each morning between 9 to 11. I think the latest morning I left to go out doing stuff was maybe 11:15. And some mornings I was out. One morning I was out at like 8:30. So I've just been go, go, go. Lots of mountain biking, trail biking, canoeing, or well, kayaking, a lot of swimming. Although the water's been so cold, and I'm just not a very good swimmer because I've gotten out of practice. Um, and then just traveling, viewing just different destinations. I went to Glenderry Bar 3 different times. I love Glenderry Bar. I mean, I guess their ice cream is not so unusual from what you get from an ice cream a good ice cream store in the Albany area. But it's part of the Finger Lakes experience, and I just enjoy doing it because it's a special memory. So I've been doing this vacation for 12 years now, 13 if you include that one year in 2008 when I came up here in June. But yeah, it's been great. Wonderful weather, lots of great bike trails and roads I've explored, different towns. When I could start listing them off. I was in Dresden, Penn Geneva, Waterloo, Ithaca, Watkins Glen, Montour Falls, Pine Hill. I'm sure there's a lot of other ones too. Did mountain biking in Sugar Hill State Forest, Black Diamond Trail, the Cayuga Valley Trail, the Cayuga Outlet Trail, the Cayuga Seneca Cycleway between Waterloo and Geneva. Poked around Geneva a little bit more. Spent more time in Waterloo just because time was tight that day. Then Seneca State Park, Tonahuck State Park, Robert Freeman State Park, Waterloo, or Watkins Glen State Park. Spent a lot of time in Watkins Glen. Although I didn't really go to the Glen, but I did do the pool a lot of days there. Because I mean, the Glen, it's the Glen. It's kind of a touristy place, and you can only hike it so many millions of times, and know it backwards and forwards, which is what I do now. And it's just been great. Really, I've been working on having good balanced meals, so I've had a lot of energy all day long. Even though I've been, run from place to place, trying to get as much stuff in during vacation as possible. But it's still been great. I mean, all my equipment's worked out well. The only minor issue I had all week was I ran out of propane on Wednesday morning after breakfast because I misunderestimated how much propane I had, and the hoses leak a little bit. And yeah, I mean, I got in propane in May, but I didn't think I'd done all that much camping. But it adds up, and if you get leaks and things slowly leak out, and just I've been doing a lot of cooking. And I mean, it's every meal I've been trying to, lots of vegetables and fruit in each meal throughout the day. Keep the blood sugar good and healthy. Protein. I had eggs a lot of days. I had ate hard-boiled eggs. I had hard-boiled egg this morning along with cream of wheat, with Greek yogurt, lemons, lemon hand squeezed lemons I put in there, and then a little bit of savia for the sugar to make it a little sweeter because lemons get kind of bitter. And yeah, it's been great. I mean, I went through 2 pounds of lemons, 3 pounds of onions. I've had tons of fresh peppers and hot peppers from the local farm stands. Um, had some store-bought peaches, which weren't all that great compared to the farm market peaches. And when I go to farm market see peaches, you gotta get the peaches there. That's where they're just so much more juicy and delicious. Um, obviously apples, bananas, grapes. They don't have any local grapes yet, so I had to get I got store-bought grapes. Lots of cherries. Both I got it from at the farm stand, and I got them at grocery stores a couple of times. I've eaten a lot of cherries. They're out in season. They're delicious. Um, and then I bought salmon, actually frozen salmon from home, and then I got some more. I was gonna do some fishing. I have my fishing license expired, and my pole is broken. I don't know. It's just especially when you're out and going till 9 o'clock at night, there just isn't a lot of time to do cooking. And something nice about having a frozen fish fillet that you can just throw on the thing, and then it's already been thawed out because of being in the cooler. It works out well. I mean, at Tops midweek, I was able to get like a small package of fish that had only like 2 fillets, so I could have them for 2 different nights, and that worked out good. And then I did clams towards the end of the week, which was great because I could just throw everything that was in the coolers into the clam broth and cook it up, and the vegetables, so they all got used up doing that. And it's good, pretty good healthy meal. I mean, you drink a little more alcohol at the end of the week than I probably should. I had one night I think I had 3 beers, and I say I really try to keep below 2 or even 1. I mean, last night I only had 1. Especially if I would get ice cream, I try to keep down just 1 beer just because of the calories and the health thing. Um, Sugar at first, I had this first night I got here, I had this maple walnut sundae, and I got a large sundae. And years ago, I used, before I got into the whole health thing, I would have loved it, but cause I've cut back on sugar so much, it just hit my stomach, and I was rumbling, and I was anxious, and couldn't get to sleep after it. And it seems like, oh, sugar shouldn't do that to you, especially somebody who's in your 40s. But the truth is that when you don't eat sugar all the time, and then you start to eat it, it really can really send you for a loop. And then same thing happened after I went to the Spotted Duck. Um, I was Spotted Duck is this really wonderful ice cream parlor out in outside of Penn Yan. It's halfway between Penn Yan and Dresden, out in farm country, and they make ice cream using the duck eggs that they have in their farm there. And it's these little scoops of ice cream that are all homemade, really sweet. I mean, it's pricey but good. But again, the sugar kind of took me for a loop. And then, of course, driving in that little tiny parking lot, the suspension always gets loosened up in the truck if I really kind of, I think it's the CV joints, or not CV joints, the ball joints. They don't like it. They get really, you turn the wheel really tight. And they were just a little loose for a while. And then, of course, that made me freak out. Even though everything in my truck's been working great, I noticed that. And then after all the sugar, I was really bouncing off the wall for a while on Tuesday. But, I mean, the most part, I've really been having a great trip. I've enjoyed everything. I've been, doing so much biking and kayaking, and very little time for the hammock. It's just been such long days getting out and doing stuff. But I mean, I took advantage of it. It's been a great week. It's been, as I said, 9 days. And then obviously, I worked for 3 days before that, and then Then I was actually took a long weekend to go out to Schoharie and camped out in Schoharie, and that was fun too. But yeah, I gotta start taking down camp shortly because I want to do some biking in Ithaca and maybe do a swim in Buttermilk State Park, do that hike that gorge there, and then I think the next step will be to head back to Albany. I'm thinking probably around probably around 4 o'clock, and we'll see how. Maybe we'll go a little earlier because I got a laundromat. I do get some groceries. I have literally no food because I have some vegetables and fruit to eat today, but I actually ended up eating the last hard-boiled egg I had this morning early because I was going to say that for today, but I have no ice in the cooler, and I wasn't sure how long the hard-boiled egg would last without refrigeration. I haven't had ice in that cooler since yesterday because it's all melted and it was starting to warm up. I mean, the milk had gone sour by this morning, but I just had black coffee, which was more than fine. And yeah, so it's been a great trip. I mean, I swim Cuyahoga and Seneca Lakes. I did some floating in Seneca Lake one day in my tube, paddled a whole bunch of Seneca Lake, paddled a bunch of Cayuga Lake, all around the inlet there, and Stewart Park. As I mentioned, I bicycled Ithaca, Watkins Glen, Dresden, Penn Yan, explored all those downtowns on a bicycle. Waterloo downtown explored. I see a lot of pictures on my Facebook if you go there and check that out. And I have been putting them on my blog. I've been a little slow on that because it's less reliable to upload things to the blog just because my uploader is not as good as the Facebook uploader, and I can only upload one photo at a time. But yeah, it's been great. Well, I really should start slowing things down. I mean, there's probably so much traffic is on Potomac Road today. Just keep hearing cars roaring by. I guess people are getting ready to head out, pack up and head out. It's only 8 o'clock, but I should do the same. I really do want to try to get camp taken down by 10 and have a little bit of time to lay back in the hammock and just get things cleaned up, packed up, and really well organized so I can have a nice quick takedown when I get home, get things back into order, and move on to the work week. Well, have a great day, everyone. It's been a great summer vacation. See ya.